Inside the Bedrock control room, imagine you're standing inside the AWS Bedrock control room. Every switch you touch changes how the AI thinks, speaks, and behaves. The exam is testing whether you know which switch does what. Let's walk through them, in the order your brain actually understands them. Chatter 1, Model ID. Choosing the brain. The first and most important choice is the brain. Model ID tells Bedrock exactly which model you want to run. Different brains have different personalities. Some are fast, some are smart, some are cheap, some are safe. When you see a model like Anthropic 3 Haiku 2024, Bedrock understands 4 things. The provider is Anthropic, the family is Claude 3, the model is Haiku, the fastest Claude, and the version locks behavior so it won't suddenly change. The exam loves this because model selection is everything. Real-time voice agent, you pick Haiku. Deep reasoning chatbot, Sonnet. Long document analysis, Opus. Cheap FAQ bot, Llama 8B. RAG embeddings, Titan embeddings. If you choose the wrong brain, no tuning will save you. 2. Messages array. How conversation works. Once the brain is chosen, you have to talk to it correctly. Bedrock uses a conversation format called ChatML, a structured way to send messages. Every message has a role, and the role matters. The user role is what the human says. The assistant role is what the AI previously said. The system role is the invisible rulebook. This is how Bedrock understands multi-turn conversations instead of single prompts. Without this structure, the model has no memory of context. 3. System messages. The hidden rulebook system messages are the most powerful and the most underestimated. They tell the AI who it is, how it should behave, and what it must never do. Users never see them, but everything depends on them. If you don't set a system message, the model guesses. And guessing is hallucination. With a system message like, "You are Emily," a friendly AI receptionist for Koala Dental in Sydney, the model stops answering generically and starts answering accurately and consistently. That's why the exam asks, how do you ensure consistent agent behavior across many callers? The answer is a clear system message, not temperature, not fine-tuning. 4. Temperature. Creativity versus safety. Now we control how wild the brain is allowed to be. Temperature controls randomness. Low temperature makes answers stable, precise, and boring. In a good way, that's exactly what you want for dental, medical, legal, or insurance systems. High temperature is creative, risky, and imaginative. Good for fiction, bad for compliance. If the exam asks, how do you reduce hallucinations? You answer low temperature, plus RAG, plus good prompting. 5. Max tokens. Controlling cost and runaway answers. Next switch, max tokens. This sets the maximum amount of text the model is allowed to generate. More tokens means higher costs, longer latency, and potential safety issues. In production systems, you never let the model talk forever. That's why AWS loves asking, how do you limit cost in a production chatbot? The correct answers are smaller models, lower max tokens, caching, and smart design. 6. Content type. The silent killer. Now, a brutal truth. If you don't set content type to application/JSON, Bedrock doesn't even try. It just fails. No creativity, no retries, immediate error. This is one of the sneakiest exam traps. Why is invoke model failing? 9 times out of 10, it's wrong content type or broken JSON. 7. Saving output to a file. Production thinking. When you save output to a file, you're thinking like an engineer, not a demo builder. Files let you inspect full responses, debug issues, store logs, and reuse outputs in pipelines later. The exam doesn't care about the file name. It cares that you understand why logging matters. 8. Streaming versus non-streaming, waiting versus talking. Now the experience question. In non-streaming, you wait. The model finishes the full answer, then sends it back. Simple, reliable, good for batch jobs. In streaming, the model talks as it thinks, token by token, word by word. That's what makes voice agents feel alive. If the exam says real-time, low latency, or voice, streaming wins instantly. 9. Error handling, where production apps fail. Finally, the pain points. Throttling errors happen when you push too hard. The fix is retries with exponential backoff, queues, smaller models, or higher limits. IAM errors happen when permissions are missing. If Bedrock says access denied, the answer is always IAM policy, not code. Invalid request errors are almost always wrong content type or broken JSON. AWS expects you to recognize these patterns instantly. Final mental model Bedrock is not magic. It's controls. Model ID chooses the brain. Messages define the conversation. System messages define behavior. Temperature controls risk. Max tokens control cost. Streaming controls responsiveness. IAM controls access. If you see it this way, the exam questions stop being hard. They become obvious.